It began quietly. No sirens. No warnings. Only a strange light hanging above the city skyline. Like a second moon watching us. People stopped in the streets. Cars stood motionless. And somewhere in the distance, the power failed. All at once.
And the stars fell down in silence, like tears across the evening air. We watched the heavens open slowly and found that something waited there. Oh, the night they crossed the sky, the world grew cold beneath their gaze, and every soul on earth stood frozen in the shadow of those strange machines. The broadcast ended first. Then came the sound, a low mechanical cry, rolling across the hills like thunder beneath the earth itself. Some prayed, some ran, some simply stared upward, unable to understand what they were seeing. And the fires burned through midnight, beyond the ruins of the town. The sky itself had turned against us as the giant ships descended down. Oh, the night they crossed the sky, no army stood against their flame. And somewhere in the dying static, somebody whispered my name. They aren't stopping. They're moving toward the coast. God help us if they reach the cities. Now the dawn arrives in ashes, gray snow falling through the rain, and every road leads to the silence of those who'll never wake again. Still I hear them in the distance, beyond the star, beyond the stars. The cold machines that came from nowhere and tore our little world apart.
At first, we thought it was a meteor shower. Strange lights falling silently beyond the northern hills. Beautiful, almost peaceful, until the power stations failed. Until the sea turned black beneath the harbors, and until those enormous shapes began moving through the fog. Oh Lord, the sky is burning, and London sleeps beneath the flame. Cold machines drift through the darkness, and no one even knows their names. We were children in the garden, watching stars we could not understand. Now the heavens open over us, and death walks slowly through the land. The broadcast became distorted sometime after midnight. Military frequencies, emergency warnings, people screaming over each other. Then came that sound, not music, not language, a metallic groan so deep the windows trembled before the first ship appeared above the river. And the red lights glow like embers over streets abandoned in the rain. Mothers hold their children tightly as the churches echo out in vain. We stood helpless at the shoreline as the black horizon came alive. And somewhere beyond the silence, something ancient had arrived. They're crossing the Thames. Nothing is slowing them down. If anyone can still hear this, don't look at the sky. Snowfall falls in ashes through the ruins of the avenue, and every voice that once brought comfort has disappeared into the blue. Still I hear those engines calling somewhere far beyond the storm. The day the stars came down to earth, and the world was no longer ours. Then I saw the tubes descend from the machines, long black veins twisting through the smoke. And the people, Christ, the people were drained alive as the ships glowed brighter against the clouds. And the harvest fields grew silent, while the engines screamed above, turning flesh and bone to fire, feeding on the ones we loved. No mercy in their cold reflections, no anger in their lifeless eyes, just endless hunger from the darkness. Beneath those poisoned alien skies, there were children among them. I remember hearing one little girl calling for her mother. Just before the machine lifted her into the light, I still hear it now.
every night.
Now I wander through the wasteland, past the ruins and the dead, while the towers scrape the heavens and the oceans burn blood red. If anybody still can hear me, if mankind somehow survives, do not let them take you living,
Because death is kinder than what waits inside those lights. I kept moving south for 3 days, past empty motorways, burning churches, and fields covered in black ash. The silence was the worst part. No birds, no traffic, no voices. Only those towering machines, moving slowly across the horizon, like giants searching for survivors.
And the red harvest moon was rising over England's broken spine, while the last few souls were hiding from the watchers in the sky. Every road led into darkness, every town became a grave, and somewhere in the distant valleys I heard the cries of those they chained.
I reached a refugee camp near the coast, or what was left of one. Hundreds of abandoned tents, still trembling in the wind. But there were no bodies. That's when I understood. They weren't killing everyone. Some people, they were taking alive.
I saw the shadows moving slowly inside the glowing alien halls. Human figures, thin and helpless, dragged beneath those iron walls. Engines burn much brighter every time the harvest came, as if our blood had fed the heavens like oil poured into a flame.
There was a sound coming from inside the machines. Not mechanical, human, crying, begging, screaming through the metal walls, while the lights pulsed overhead, and still nobody came to stop them.
Now the oceans boil beneath them, before the harvest, before the falling stars.
They came without thunder. No warning in the skies. Only silence breaking open, like a wound in the heavens. And in that silence, man learned how small his name truly was. The cities folded like paper in flame, glass turning to memory, calling my name. We stood in the ruins with iron and prayer, but the stars were already watching us there. Steel hearts beating in a desperate line, old world soldiers in borrowed time. We fired at gods with rusted machines and prayed for a future we'd never have seen. Can you hear it in the static? That hymn of the end? Every signal is a ghost now. We don't break, we just bend. We are ashes of man in the fire they made, standing tall in the ruins of the promises they gave. Oh, we scream through the silence, but the void doesn't care. Just a flicker of hope in the smoke-filled air. We are lightning and ruin, we are bone, we are sand, holding back the infinite with trembling hands. We are falling together, but we rise where we stand. The last breath of a dying command. They moved like thoughts we couldn't explain, geometry bleeding through sky like rain. No face to hate, no form to strike, just endless intelligence swallowing light. Our cannons sang their final refrain, metal prayers lost in orbital chains. And still we marched where angels fear, through the burning echo of atmosphere. And then they learned our fear had weight, and they used it like gravity.
Falling to the blackened choir,
Stars
extinguished in cosmic fire.
call.
Call to the broken sky.
Does the universe even ask us why? We are ashes of man in the fire they made, drowning in echoes of a world that decayed. But we hold to the signal, to the last breath we had, in the shadow of futures we never once had. We are thunder in ruin, we are lost, we are banned, writing our names in the dust of this land. If we fall, let the cosmos understand. We died with fire in hand. And when the stars forget our name, let them remember this. We did not go quietly into the dark. We sang to it.
The war did not end. It only learned a new language. And in the silence after ashes of man, something began to speak back. Not loudly, but inside the mind.
We buried the dead in the skeleton light, beneath broken moons that forgot how to shine. The sky still bled with a digital scar, like the universe whispering from afar. We thought we won when the guns went still, but victory has a different will. It crawls in the dark where the signals decay, and learns what the broken survivors say.
There's a voice in the static calling my name, but it speaks in my tongue with something not the same.
And I swear when I listen, I'm not alone. I hear my thoughts, but they're not my own.
Whispers of the damned in the wires tonight,
Singing through ruin in ultraviolet light. They wear our memories like skin over bone, and leave us awake, but never alone.
whispers of the damned in the bones of the sky,
Teaching the living new ways to die. We survived the invasion, but something remains. It lives in the echoes inside our veins. The machines still hum with a ghost in their code, like they're dreaming of oceans they've never been told. We speak to the dead through fractured arrays, and the dead start answering in mechanical ways. Soldiers report that their shadows reply, moving before them in the corner of eye. And every reflection begins to repeat a future where nothing remembers defeat.
We did not destroy them. We translated them. And now, they are fluent in us. Listen.
They are learning your fear. They are speaking it clear.
Listen.
Every thought is a door, and they're knocking once more.
whispers of the damned in the collapse of night,
Turning our silence into infinite fright. We built them a language from pain and from war. Now they are everything we are anymore.
whispers of the damned in the ruin we made,
Echoing softly through every parade.
We are not hunters, we are not free. We are the voices
They learn to be. And in the quiet between heartbeats, they are still speaking. Not to us, but as us. Before the ashes, before the whispers, before the dawn that came too late, there was a moment when mankind still believed in resistance. I was there, upon the ridge, watching the last organized strength of humanity prepare itself for war. And I heard them speak those words with certainty. We will not be taken.
The fields were lined with iron and flame, each regiment calling no fear by name. Tanks in their columns like beasts in restraint, painted in courage, rehearsed in constraint. The sky above them, wrong in its hue, like something pretending to be what it knew. And every man there believed in the plan, that steel could still overpower what began. They called it readiness, that fragile human illusion, that preparation equals control. I remember their stillness, as if posture alone could negotiate with extinction.
We will not be taken.
We will not fall.
We will not answer
The sky's silent call.
We will not kneel
To the shape in the air.
We will not break.
We will not be there.
We will not be taken.
Fire and steel.
We will not bend.
We will not kneel. But the heavens had already rewritten the end before we could comprehend.
The first discharge lit up the horizon line, a human attempt to redefine time. But the answer came without thunder or sound, just absence where certainty once was found. The guns spoke once, then forgot their own name. Their logic unraveled their purpose and shame. And every formation that held to its ground became something unmade without making a sound. It was not destruction as we understand it. It was revision, as though reality itself had decided we were no longer part of its design.
Hold the line.
Hold the line.
Hold the line against the sky.
But the sky
Does not fight.
it simply decides what should die.
We will not be taken.
We shouted to fate,
We will not yield.
we will not wait. But the horizon had already sealed our name.
Into something beyond flame. Will not be taken.
Iron and pride,
We will not vanish.
we will not hide. Yet still the world bent open wide, and the line of men
Simply died. I tell you this not as legend, but as record. They said it with certainty. We will not be taken. And the universe did not answer. It happened without warning. Not with explosions. Not with armies. But with silence. For the first time since they came, the machines stopped moving. one by one, across the ruined cities of Earth. Those great iron monsters simply froze where they stood. And then, the screaming began inside them.
Oh, the giants fell like thunder, shaking all the blood-stained ground. Those mighty engines born from heaven crashed like dying kingdoms down. And the fires lit the skyline as the people crawled from underground to watch the gods that came to conquer break apart without a sound.
At first we thought it was a trick, a new weapon, a new horror waiting in the smoke. But then the hatches opened, and the creatures inside. They were weak, small, pale, barely able to stand beneath our atmosphere. They had crossed the stars in towers of steel, only to be destroyed by the smallest life on Earth.
Not by rockets, not by soldiers, not by all the bombs we made, but by the world they tried to poison, and the air they could not take. Every raindrop turned against them, every breath became their curse, while mankind rose from out the ashes to reclaim the wounded earth.
I watched one collapse beside the river, its great metal legs tearing through the streets, as thousands stood in silence beneath it. For the first time, they looked afraid of us.
Now the dawn burns gold above us.
Now the dawn burns gold above us.
Through the smoke of what remained,
And the broken bells of London
and the broken bells of London
ring across the earth again.
though the dead will not return to us, and the scars will always stay. We stood against the fall of heaven
And lived to see the giants fade. And somewhere beyond the stars, something else may already know. What became of the first invasion force sent to Earth? But if they come again, they will not find mankind kneeling. Kneeling.
They told us the war was over. But I have stood upon the broken world, and I assure you, war leaves a memory long after the guns grow silent. There are no victors here, only survivors. And the echo of something that once was everywhere at once. the shattered avenues I walked alone, where empire and engine were turned into stone. The sky, once a battlefield carved into flame, now whispers a silence that cannot be named. The machines lie quiet in rusted repose, no alien hymn through the wires and the throes. Yet still in the marrow the memory stirs of a war that rewrote what the world once was.
We expected trumpets. We expected judgment. Instead, we were left with the sound of wind through empty cities. And I confess to you now that silence is not peace. It is simply what remains when something greater has departed.
Dawn over the broken earth,
Light upon the ruin of our worth.
no empire now.
No iron hand, only ash where kingdoms once did stand.
Dawn over the broken earth,
What is survival truly worth
when all we were
has turned to dust.
And still, we learn to trust.
The skies no longer speak in dread machinery, no vast intelligence, no alien circuitry. Yet every shadow upon fractured ground feels heavier than any war ever found. We sift through the silence like a relic and bone, each fragment a story we thought we had known, and wonder if conquest was ever the lie, or if something within us was destined to die.
It is not enough to live through the end of the world. One must also learn how to live after it refuses to end within you.
no more thunder,
No more scream.
only fragments of a dream.
No more empire,
No more fire,
only time that climbs higher.
dawn over the broken earth,
No longer bound to war or birth. We are echoes learning how to be a species set belatedly free.
dawn over the broken earth,
Measured now in quiet rebirth, and in the ruins, soft and vast,
We meet ourselves at last. And so I tell you this, not as a warning, but as a record. The war did not end us, nor did we defeat it. It simply moved through us and left us changed.
I have told you of invasion, of whispers in the dark between stars, and of a dawn that broke upon a ruined world. But what remains, when even the telling is done, is the long road back to oneself. And so I come home again. The road is lined with nothing but memory, hedgerow ghosts and forgotten artillery. The earth no longer flinches at sound. It has learned how to simply lie down. My footsteps echo where fear used to reign, each one a reminder of fire and rain. Yet the sky is indifferent and wide, no longer a battlefield to divide.
I once believed the world would never recover, that it had been marked permanently by something beyond understanding. But I find now that the world continues its slow insistence on existing, regardless of what we endure within it.
Home again,
Though nothing remains the same,
no welcome fire,
no calling names,
just quiet rooms where echoes fall.
and I must learn to stand at all.
Home again,
Through fractured time,
a life rebuilt from borrowed rhyme.
and every breath I now reclaim still knows the shape of flame. The house still waits in patient decay, as if it never expected me this way. Dust on the portraits like ash in glass, time refusing to fully pass. I turn the key with unfamiliar hands, as though I do not yet understand if this is return or merely disguise for the man who survived behind my eyes. They asked me once what war had taken. I told them cities, skies, certainty. But I understand now. It also takes the shape of the one who returns.
No more calling,
No more fight,
only settling into night.
no more ending,
No more start,
only pieces of a
home
whole,
again,
where silence grows,
where nothing alien ever shows.
yet still I carry what I am, a man rebuilt from aftermath and dam.
Home again,
Though changed I stand,
with broken war still in my hand.
and learn at last through scar and name, I am not the same. And so I close the book of stars and fire, not because it is finished, but because I have finally arrived.